Hello, Flosstube. My name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is my Flosstube update number 237. Today is June 18th. Happy Father's Day this weekend. For those of you who are thinking about your dad, some have passed away, some are still living. Just happy Father's Day. So I didn't do an update last week. As I said, I was out of town. I was in Albuquerque, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And otherwise, since this is a channel about cross stitch, that's what we're going to talk about. So I did some stitching. I had a little haul. I had a finish. Yeah, and I did a little design work today. This week also. So I'm going to start with my WIPGO stitching. Yeah, and I don't know. I think I talked about this last on Thursday of last week in the video that I do with my sisters, the Three Sisters Creative Sticks and Strings videos. But I don't think I talked about this last week that I recall. I don't know. Anyway, one of my WIPGO numbers that I'm working on is this one, Kitty Kitty by La Di Da. And although she did hers on black, I think 32 count or something. I don't have it right here in front of me. Mine is on 30 count, and it's a dark green color. This is I think it's a primitive hair fabric. Again, I don't have it right here in front of me. That I bought at the attic some time ago, and I just like that color. It's really pretty. But anyway, so the pattern has like a white, or gray, white and kind of a gray color here. And when I was putting this together some time ago, a couple of years ago, how long it was, a few years ago, I had determined that this color was not going to work on this fabric, and I had gone ahead and used whatever the white color is. Again, I don't have it in front of me. I think it's charted in silks with DMC alternatives, and so I was using been using the DMCs. And since I couldn't, I don't know where the bobbin is that has the color that I was thinking about using, but I couldn't find it. So I went ahead and thought I would do black, and so yeah, this is what it's going to look like. And there's the other cat that goes right here. But I did all the leaves, and the tree is finished, and so then there's the various border motifs on there, and these little, I guess they're dragonflies, bugs, to put in also. But so yeah, so I have one cat almost done, and then the other cat, and then the borders. So the goal on this was for 10 days, and I think I've done about 3 on here so far. So going to do some more on that. And then this is Monster Wonder Whale by Fortion Brewery. So my goal on this was also 10 days. And I've done almost all the 10 days. The 10 days will be either today or tomorrow. I have to look at my calendar to double check how many days have gone by. But actually, it's it's been more than 10 days, I think. But I took this with me to Albuquerque last weekend, and I did one day that I did some pretty significant stitching, but the other days I did, like, you know, I was really tired, and I did like a little bit here and a little bit there. It's like maybe, you know, 30 minutes or something like that. So I didn't really think of that as a whole day, you know, where I've got, you know, maybe 3 hours or something like that or more on. But then, so I sort of like combined like 3 of those little shorty days into one day, calling it one day, because like I said, it was, you know, half an hour here, an hour here maybe, because I was so tired. But then since I've gotten back, I've done, you know, some several days on it. So this is where it's at now. Before, I think last week, I had just started this, you know, there was just a little bit of this spout done. And since then, I finished the little blue spout thing. I've done this little tree thing here and some individual Quakers as I could count off of the whale. I did the first level of the waves. There's like some little fish. There's the pattern, and then another these little fish and boats, and then another set of the waves. So I did one of the boats. This one here. I think this little boat here. I didn't do the sails or anything like that, but I did get the, I think it was that one. No, this one here, this boat. Yeah, this boat here. I did the boat part. Yeah. But not the sails yet. Yeah, so this boat here. And so there's like, you know, I'm pretty much a color completist, I guess, and there's a little bit more of this orange color, like there's a big thing up here, but it's, you know, and then another one of these boats down here. I don't remember which one of these little gaps. It might be this one here, but you know, I don't want to have it count so far down and accidentally like be a square off or something like that. So I, right now I'm working on this color here. There's a little like a tree thing here, and then like it continues down into this little area here. So that's what I'm working on now. And, but otherwise, yeah, it's coming along very nicely. There's like a bunch of stuff on the swale's back. There's a house and a lot of these trees, and there's a really big kind of tree type of thing here, and yeah, but it's coming along very well, very nice, and I'll be very sad to see that go. I really enjoying that. The Alforce kits are really nice. I have one more. I did one little kit several months ago, and I have another small kit that I haven't started yet, and they're really nice because the bigger kits come with the needle minder that's on here. They come with a needle minder. I have this one here. It came with it. And a needle, a small needle. This nicely serged fabric. And all the threads come in the kit. The smaller kits don't have a needle minder, but they have everything else, you know. And the instructions and everything. So I highly recommend that. I know that some people have a hang up about because they're Russian. It's a Russian company, but I figure, you know, they're not the ones that, you know, are in the army, so, you know, whatever. But I really like it. It's a really nice. They're really nice designs, really nice kits. It's really great. Anyway, so those are my 2 WIPGO things for June. So I have a few more days on the, maybe a couple of days on the monster wonder whale, and then about 7 days on the kitty kitty. And that will leave me a couple of days, maybe I think 2 or 3 days at the end of the month that I'll have free. And I had started the June Rabbit, so I might work more on that, or I might work on, I don't know, other stuff that I have. I don't know. But I'm also doing cross-stitch camp this summer, and there's June, July, and August challenges. And so for June, it was to do something that celebrates a holiday. And I talked about this Good Must I Be from the Merry Noel collection by Sandra Sullivan of Homespun Elegance. So she finished it with her, I think her grandson's name down here, Avery. And then the year was 2019 that she put on there. So I stitched this over one, essentially, because it's hard hanger. It's over one like Ada. So I used, they're mostly DMC. I think the red is a Weeks Dye Works, and the white and the beige and this sage color. There's a beige and a linen. This white is linen. This white on the beard is beige, and then the buttons here, the placket on Santa's coat, are beige. They're Weeks Dye Works colors, and then the green and the brown here on the and the red of the candy canes. Those are Weeks Dye Works. I mean, excuse me, DMC colors. So anyway, I really should have used one thread, and I didn't really think about it in the lettering and the border because it was fine. But then when it came to doing Santa, the stitches, they look good, they feel good, they're very tight, but it was very difficult. The button placket and the beard are a little bit messy because it just got to be impossible to see what I was doing very well. So they're kind of lumpy and a little uneven. But anyway, there's Santa. Good must I be, so Santa will come see me. And down here, I decided on the design, it has the name, whatever name you put in like a brown, the 3371 DMC. But I decided to use the green instead because I liked it better. But these are my two cats, Puck and Snug. And 2020 is the year. It's over here. Excuse me, 2022. Sorry. It's like, for some reason, I kept thinking 2020. For some reason, I don't know why. It's 2022. But anyway, so that's finished. That's my June cross-stitch camp project. So that's all done. Yay! So anyway, that's done. That was all the stitching I did this week. But then I also worked on design of mine. I had talked about this before. This Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. So this is the original one I did in 2018, I think. Is when I designed it and stitched it. And it was one of the first real complicated, stitches that I did, designs I did. I think when I very first started stitching, over the years, you know, I did some little alterations or smaller designs, you know, things, adaptations or whatever of different, like some of the different design elements or whatever made into a bigger thing, whatever. I did a little bit of that, you know, but this is the first time I think I did anything really extensive, you know, on my own. But the one thing, and so I took this with me to Stitch Shenanigans. I talked about this before. And a woman that I was at a table with, she was saying, you know, yeah, you should put that out there and, you know, sell that pattern or whatever. And I thought, you know what, I'd like to, except that this font that I used on it was one that I took from, you know, another pattern. I really like it. It's really pretty, but it's not mine, you know, so I couldn't very well, I didn't feel comfortable, you know, trying to sell it. And there were things I wasn't happy with. I wasn't happy with the water idea and, you know, and some of the other design elements, especially like here, you know, I wasn't happy with it. So and this, yeah, that didn't, looks like a lightning bolt. It's not supposed to be a lightning bolt. But anyway, so, so this was my original design. But then I redesigned it. I haven't stitched it yet, but I redid the design here. The last, I worked on it little by little, some time ago, and then I just in the last couple of days I finished it. The last few days I finished it a little bit. So I've changed a few things. I changed the water a little bit here. I changed the font. I did a different, made up my own font. These little angels are white. This is without the grids and without the symbols, you know. And so, but I mean, I have it, but this is the version of it without the thing, so I can show the picture. It's a picture. So I changed the design elements a little bit, but not much. They're still there. And you can't see it here. There's a you can't really see it on this picture, but there's a 3-4 on there. I don't think you can see it very easily in the. I think you can maybe see it in the printed off version with the grids on it. I have to look at it again, but anyway, because for some reason it doesn't show up well on there. But anyway, there it's there. So there, and I put some more sheep. I changed the grass area and put some more sheep, and I put a little baby sheep in there. And then the last segment. And so the way it's done, you know, like if you wanted to, you could just do one segment, or you can do it as, you know, 3 like separate segments, or the whole thing. And it's about 140-ish stitches across, and about 230, 240 long. So it's not gigantic, but it's pretty big. It's not. I don't think it's as big as the original one because the font is smaller and all that. But you know, so I'm gonna have to see, you know, like what kind of, you know, what the fabric needs would be or whatever. But yeah, and it's just, you know, charted in DMC, so it's easy enough. But so yeah, so I'd like to, you know, restitch that now that I have redesigned it. But that's one thing that I did. I finished up doing in the last few days. So that is all the stitching that I've done. And like I said, I'm hoping to work on some more on my WIPGO stuff, and finish that up and hit those goals. And but then I went and got a little haul because my younger sister and I went to Albuquerque, as I said, this past weekend, and it was also happened to be my cousin Judy's birthday, and I think her birthday was on Sunday, and so we wanted to take a little something for her birthday. And so we had stopped at Joann's and got her a little simple cross-stitch project. And so while we were there, I got one for myself. The one we bought for her was one of these also, one of these DMC kits. It has all the threads and the Ada fabric and a little hoop. But I also bought her like a hoop to work with it that's a little bit better. I don't know if this is plastic or wooden, the hoop that's in here. Does it say? I can't tell. Anyway, the hoop that's in here, I don't know if it's plastic or wooden. But I bought one that for her that's that has like a little edge. They're not my. It's not my favorite kind that they don't have at Joann's. The ones at Hobby Lobby that have the little, they have a little ridge in the center. But this one has just a lip on the outside, but it's, you know, it holds better than a regular other hoop. So anyway, I bought that for her. But the one we got her has a little kitty on it. And then my sister showed me this elephant one, so I got that for myself. And it has, like I said, it has all the threads and a needle and in the fabric and everything in there. So I got that just for fun at Joanne. I don't know what almost did it. I also got this Monaco 28 count Monaco that I love, and some DMC threads that I was, you know, running out of. Just, yeah, that I had used. I don't remember what I was doing that I found out that I was running out of those. Anyway, so we went, my sister and I went there before we went to Albuquerque, and for the Youth Symphony reunion. And then after I got back just yesterday, my older sister and I went to the attic. She had ordered a pattern, and they had called her to let her know that the pattern was in. Yesterday they had called her. And so she said, they just called me to tell me my pattern's in. You want to come with me? And I was like, yes. And so yeah, so she got her pattern and a little bit other stuff. And while she was there, I went ahead and bought stuff. So one of the things I bought was this little elephant button. And I don't have any, you know, immediate need for it, but I was looking for this actually. This Good Must I Be has a button that goes right here. I mean, a charm that goes right here, and I hadn't even noticed it really until I was like later on. I was reading the instructions, but it's right here. It's a little. In this case, it's like a little brass Santa, you know, charm thing, and so but that is on, I think it's 2/2 on 32 count or something like that, and this is, you know, on, like I said, on 22 count Hardinger, and so it's a very small space there. So I don't know if I have like a Santa button or charm or something that would fit there or not. But anyway, so while I was at the attic, I was kind of casually looking at the whatever buttons that they have there and see if I saw anything that, that would work. And when I was glancing, I didn't really look intensively at the buttons to see if they had anything. But while I was sort of casually glancing at them, this little elephant button. It's so cute. I thought, well, surely I've got something I can put that on. And as a matter of fact, it might go with it. Or it might go with, I have an owl forged embroidery pattern that's not FFO'd, of course. But it's called Elephant and Pug. So it might work for that too. Or maybe for a future pattern. I don't know. But it's so cute. There's a little elephant. So anyway, I bought that. And then I also got a bunch of, I got some threads. I have like a running list on my phone of, and so sometimes they have them and sometimes they don't. It's just to kind of, some of them are harder, the Gentle Arts threads are harder to find, so but so these are some weak dye works. And I might have this molasses one, but I went ahead and bought it because, I needed it for something. So this is Lily Pad. I had been looking for that, and they have it this time. And the Lancaster Red, this is the red that is used on here. And I used quite a bit of it, and so it's the one I have that I was using that for is like running out, so I went ahead and bought some. And I don't know, I've sort of lost track a little bit of what I have and what I need. So, but anyway, so I bought those, and then I bought some new patterns, and among them these two colors, these Gentle Arts colors they had there. So and like I said, that I might look online at 123 Stitch or see if I can find them. I know that there have been some issues with Gentle Arts threads, getting them in and all that. So I had been trying to buy them at the attic just to to help support the local business and all that. But those particular colors the particular colors that I need have been hard to find, so I'm gonna look online and whatever. And if I can't find them, it's no big deal. There are DMC alternatives listed, and also I've got a whole bunch of other colors. I've got a lot of Weeks colors, other Gentle Arts colors, and color and cotton threads. So surely I can find something for whatever shade of whatever color I need. But then also, I have bought a whole bunch of patterns. The Cottage Garden samplings, they have, of course, the Year in the Woods series that they're doing. So the newest one, last week I showed, I think a couple weeks ago, I showed the bear, and this one, the bald eagle, is one of the newest ones, or if not the newest one, I guess. But look at that. That is just magnificent. That big, tall pine tree and the giant eagle. And, they're so big. There's the Decorah eagles. There's a live cam there. I've followed the Decorah eagles for the last couple of years, a few years, since I was in Little Rock. And it's hard to tell when you're looking at them on the little Nest Cam how big they really are. But there were some pictures of one of the guys that works on it's called the Raptor Resource Project, and he's a grown man, full grown man, and he was at one point, I think in the off season, he had gone up there to do some cleaning up, working on the cameras and sort of cleaning up the nest at one point, and he could lie down on the nest, in the nest, basically his whole body. He's, like I said, a full-grown man, and he could stretch out in that nest, and it was that big. I mean, huge nest. And at one point, there's an eagle nest cam in, I want to say Minnesota. I think Minnesota, yeah. That they had the eagle pair that they follow there had a couple of chicks, and one of them, I think, fell from the nest and passed away. But the other one, at the time, he was stuck. Eagles don't have hands, obviously, and he was like stuck on one of his feet was stuck in these twigs, and he couldn't move, couldn't get up, couldn't and the parent eagles were trying to feed him, keep him, but he was obviously having some trouble. And with the Raptor resource project, they kind of try to have a hands-off approach, and so, but at the he had been stuck up there, and so they finally decided they would try to to help him. So they were able to get a cherry picker, to get way up there to the nest, and they took him out and took him to this rehab facility, and he had a few little injuries from, like, he had been, I guess, poked with the sticks and whatever. So they checked him out, fixed his little injuries and gave him some antibiotics or something like that. And then they stuffed his little craw that they put the food in. They stuffed him full of food, and then so he was in the facility for like 2 or 3 days, I guess, or something. And so they took him back up to the nest, and what they were worried about was whether or not the mother and father eagles would come back to the nest and take care of him. So they had the camera on him, and I think that at that nest the camera goes off at night or something, at that time anyway. And so they were concerned because he had enough food in his little craw to last him a few days. But they said, if the eagles don't come back and feed him on the 3rd day or whatever, that, they were going to have to shut the cameras off because they were afraid he would die or something. And so it was like very suspenseful, and the eagles, the mother and father eagles were in the area. They were there, but they were not like at the nest. And so it was like very like, touch and go, and very, is the mother going to come back? Is the parents going to come back? And then like at the last minute, at the end of the day, the last day, there was the mother eagle came back and took care of the babies, but what I was started off saying was, you think, oh, they look like little babies, they're little fuzzy little babies. They're like huge. They're babies, but they're huge babies. Anyway, it was one of those, your heart in your throat kind of moments. And it was around the time that the Hunger Games, the first Hunger Games movie had come out, and there's a soundtrack that was released at the same time, and there's one of the songs in there. Just for some reason, I had that song in my head because I had been listening to the CD, and that song was very appropriate for that moment with the baby and all. It just, it was incredible. Anyway, I digress. Talking about eagles. But so anyway, I love this bald eagle pattern. And anyway, so if you're so inclined, the Decora Eagles. They have a nest cam, and right now there's a couple. There's another couple. There's a couple of nests. Anyway, it's. But yeah, I highly recommend it. So the other patterns that I got at the attic, Cottage Garden Samplings, that is doing this Year in the Woods series. Last year, I guess. Is it last year? Yeah, 2021. They did another series called A Time for All Seasons. So I've showed the Santa, which is the number 12 of that series. I've shown it before. And so while I was at the attic, I saw there are several other patterns in this series. So this is number 1. Snow time. It's snow time. There's a big giant snowman. And little cardinals. Just, oh, so pretty. And I think the white is, yeah, this is chalk. This is that I bought the chalk thread for. And then I don't have all of them, so just what I saw there. Number 5, this BZ Spring. There's the bee. And there's a Q there for Queen. And some sunflowers. Little bee skip. And this is number 6 in that series. Strawberry Harvest. Look at that bird. And that border is so pretty. And it's big strawberry. Just beautiful. The colors on these are so gorgeous. And this is the one that caught my eye before I saw the others too. But this one, Turkey Day. Look at that turkey. That is so gorgeous. This is number 11 in that series. It's so pretty. And the autumn leaves and but that turkey just is wonderful. That's probably a lot of stitching. I think it's, yeah, 100 by, all of these are 100 by 130. So they're not really huge, but yeah. So, and they're done on 40 count linen, these little samples. So, and on these, yeah, I haven't decided what what I'm gonna do. I haven't thought about anything about stitching them. Just they're so gorgeous to look at. So I don't have any immediate plans. So yeah, yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about. So that's all the stitching that I have right now. The other thing I want to talk about was my trip to Albuquerque. So if you're not interested in that, you know, feel free to move along. Yeah, so last weekend, my sister and I went to Albuquerque, and for the Albuquerque Youth Symphony program was having a reunion. They've done this sometime before. They've done this before. But they had originally planned to do the 65th reunion in 2020. But then, you know, of course, everything got derailed with the pandemic. Including, actually, one of the pieces that they were going to do a Saint-Saëns violin concerto. They have a concerto competition every year. And so they have, you know, the winner will play with the youth symphony at the spring concert. And the girl that won the concerto competition that spring, they were gonna, you know, she was supposed to play at the final concert, I think in May or maybe before that, slightly before that. But of course everything got shut down for the pandemic, so she didn't get to play. So for the reunion concert, they went ahead and gave her a chance to play. She was really very good. And then we did some other pieces, you know, overtures and single movements some different symphonies. And one of the things we did was the theme from the Cowboys, if you've ever seen that movie, that so that was a lot of fun. And some of those pieces, I think at least 3 of the ones that we did, I've played before, you know, with the symphony, with the Arkansas Symphony, and you know, since then, you know, I've had the surgery and all that, my brain surgery and all, and you know, so there's I could tell the difference in there, but it was great to play with. There were a few people from whose names I knew that were in the symphony when I was in there. But there weren't a whole lot of my age there. A lot of them were younger, you know. It's like Naomi, even Naomi, you know, Naomi was on the older end of the students, because she was, you know, she graduated from high school in the 80s, in 1985. I graduated in 78. But there were several people there that graduated in the, you know, 2000 teens, you know. And so, like, Naomi was like, you could be my child. You're young enough to be my child. But anyway, so the T-shirt that I'm wearing, you know, it says here, growing musicians for, in this case, 65 years, although 67 years now. But, so yeah, this T-shirt that I got, and I have some other swag that I bought. This little travel cup thing. You know, and it has a little clip there, and then we all had these lanyards that, you know, that had our names on them, but I bought it came with just a basic generic black lanyard, but I bought this. You know, if I went to work every day and, you know, I had to wear an ID tag, you know, this would work, but I went ahead and bought it anyway, just for, you know, whatever. And so they gave us each a little swag bag thing, you know, to the stuff came in. And it's a nice little nylon bag that folds up. There's a little pouch on the inside. You can fold it all up and stick it in the pouch, you know, in its own pouch. And then I also bought this little canvas tote bag. So yeah, it was fun, and it was just a lot of fun to play the pieces, the concert pieces, and then of course it was nice to see Albuquerque, to see our aunts and our cousin. My brother lives there also, but he, you know, we were talking to him on the phone, and he had gigs and stuff that he had to go to, so he was out of town that weekend. But yeah, we had a great time, and I was talking about how I ate green chili every day that I was there. Friday night, we went out on Friday. There was a recital Friday night that we were going to play in originally, and you know, because we kind of dropped the ball on that, on practicing and getting ready for that, you know, we bagged out of that kind of at the last minute. We thought, that's not going to work. We don't have time to practice to work on this. You know, Naomi went out of town a few times, and then, you know, and everything else, and then we just didn't really, you know, work on it, on the music we were thought of in time to really do anything. So that didn't happen. But in a way it was good that didn't, because we left later than we had originally thought of, because my dad had some appointments that my sister that Naomi wanted to go to, so needed to go to talk to his doctors and stuff. So we didn't leave till early Friday morning. So there was a recital Friday night, so we went to hear it. So we're not able to play in it, but we went to hear it, and then that evening got something to eat. So I had a green chili cheeseburger that night after the recital, and then on Saturday we had like rehearsal all morning, a lunch break, rehearsal all afternoon, and then that evening they had a dinner and a catered dinner thing, and one of the local restaurants provided food, and so I had a green chili little piece of enchilada thing serving, and then on Sunday we had rehearsal in the morning and the concert that afternoon, and then that evening my aunts and my sister and I went to eat at El Pinto, which is a Mexican restaurant there in Albuquerque that we've loved since we were kids. But so I had a green chili enchilada there that night, and then on Monday morning before we left, my cousin and my aunts took us to eat at a place called Taqueria, Mexico, I think is the name of the place we went. But anyway, so I had a green chili that morning also. So it's like, yeah, I'm up to here with it now. But it was really, I like green chili. I love it a lot, and I love it in New Mexico. So yeah, I had a lot while I was there. So anyway, but so the trip to Albuquerque was great. Been back, a few days, and been going at my my WIPGO stuff ever since then. So anyway, so next week will still be June. Let me double check my calendar. I know it will still be June, but hopefully by next week, I know I will have finished the Monster Wonder Wheel, and then yeah. So next week is the 25th, next Saturday, and then there's of course 5 more days of June after that. So we'll see. I will not have hit my 10 days on Kitty Kitty by the 25th, I don't think. But so I'll then after that in July, in 2 weeks, we'll see. I should have hit all my goals and had a couple of days to spare, and I will know by then what the July WIPGO pulls are. So in 2 weeks, I'll be all set to do that. But so next week, I'll have further developments in my WIPGO goals, and I'll be getting ready for the July cross-stitch camp challenges for July. Anyway, so I think that is everything I intended to talk about, and I will I'll see you with an update next weekend. Bye.